Hi everyone, hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to the chapter number 14, which is on anaphylaxis in special populations of the patients. So let's get started. So, first of all, let's deal with anaphylaxis in the pediatric population. So, all of the children, especially those who are under 5 years of age, would present unique challenges in the anaphylaxis care. Why? Because most of their common triggers include food allergies, particularly milk, eggs, peanuts, and tree nuts, etc., along with the insect stings and certain medications as well. Symptoms may not always follow the typical adult pattern, and that's why it's very challenging to deal with anaphylaxis in the pediatric population. So, you might see there might be vomiting, persistent coughing, hives, or even sudden mood changes in children, which can lead towards the development of anaphylaxis. So, that's why the caregiver education is very important in them, and also auto injectors like EpiPen JR are specifically dosed for the younger children and should always be accessible for all the caregivers. So let's deal with anaphylaxis during the pregnancy. Although anaphylaxis in pregnancy is very rare, but it's a double emergency. How? Because it is impacting both the mother and the baby. And common triggers could include the medications like simple antibiotics, it could be latex exposure during the procedures, or it could be the food allergens as well. So the tricky part, like symptoms like low blood pressure or nausea, may be confused with the normal pregnancy symptoms, which can lead to the dangerous delays in the procedures and the dangerous outcomes as well. Importantly, epinephrine is considered safe in pregnancy and should not be withheld or delayed in any case. And after the treatment, the fetal monitoring is essential to assess for the distress or complications in the fetus as well. And then we had anaphylaxis in the geriatric population or in elderly patients with comorbs. So, elderly patients and those with the chronic conditions like cardiovascular disease or asthma face increased risk with the anaphylaxis. You know why? Because reactions can be more severe. They may present in unusual ways in them. Certain medications like beta blockers and ACE inhibitors, they not only increase the risk of anaphylaxis, but they may also blunt the response to the epinephrine. So that said, epinephrine remains the first line treatment for them as well. And these patients require very close monitoring, individualized care plans for them, and early intervention to prevent the complications of the development of anaphylaxis. So be very vigilant with geriatric population because the anaphylaxis would be more severe in them and the reaction to epinephrine would be less as compared to the younger adult population. And how can we end up happy without the quiz part? So let's get started on that as well. So question number one is, what is the common risk factor for anaphylaxis in the pediatric population? And as we have already studied that food allergies, especially peanuts and tree nuts, is the most common cause of development of anaphylaxis in the pediatric population. We have which of the following is a concern when you are managing anaphylaxis in a pregnant woman? So the harm would be the potential harm to the fetus from the epinephrine. But still, epinephrine remains the first choice of treatment of anaphylaxis in the pregnant woman as well. And it is generally considered safe if there are no other complications which are present. And then we have which treatment is safe and effective for managing anaphylaxis in a pregnant woman. So our first line of treatment would always be epinephrine, which is IN injection. So yeah, we are going with the epinephrine in those cases as well. And then we have an elderly patient, what should be closely monitored during an anaphylactic shock? So the answer is cardiovascular health, including the blood pressure and the heart rate. Why? Because we already mentioned that if the person is suffering from a chronic illness or comorbs, the general symptoms of cardiovascular compromise or the drop in the blood pressure or the respiratory compromise could be considered as normal, but they could actually be indicating towards the anaphylaxis. So we need a close monitoring of all these vitals for geriatric population. And then we have what is the best prevention strategy for anaphylaxis in a pregnant woman? So the answer is identifying and avoiding all the known allergens and triggers and using the epinephrine if needed. That's the only reasonable answer we could see here. The otherwise are avoiding all the medications during pregnancy. That's not possible. And then discontinuing all the immunotherapy treatments. No, if the person is suffering from some chronic allergy and the treatment is ongoing and the obstetrics finds it to be safe, we can't discontinue it. And then focusing only on the dietary restrictions, no. Sometimes the allergic reaction could arise from the latex gloves used in the procedures as well. So the answer A seems very reasonable and very fine. So it's a best choice. And that's it from chapter number 14. We are moving to the chapter number 15 very soon. See you there. Have a nice day.